If you're watching this, you probably already know your drinking has damaged the trust in your relationship. Maybe your partner checks up on you, smells your breath when you walk in, asks you where you've been, and then doesn't believe your answer. And maybe part of you is exhausted by that. Even if you know you've given them reasons to feel that way, there's still part of you thinking, how long is this going to go on? I've apologized. I've tried. Why won't they just trust me again? Listen, I'm not here to shame you for that. It makes complete sense, which is why I'm going to give you a straight answer today about what actually rebuilds trust, because most people are going about it completely backwards. The first thing people try naturally is apologizing. But here's the problem. An apology is just words, and words are exactly what got you in this situation. Your partner's heard. I'll do better. I promise this time is different. I'm going to stop. Every one of those were probably sincere when you said it, and then the drinking happened again. So now when you say the words, even when you mean them more than ever, your partner's brain has already heard that song. It knows how it ends. It's important to know your partner's not choosing to distrust you. Their brain has been trained by repeated experience to expect a certain outcome. It's like a burn. Touch a hot stove, your hand pulls back, and automatically the next time, you don't decide to do that. Your nervous system does it for you. That's what's happening in your partner's brain. Words tell them what you intend, but actions over time tell them what's actually true. Keep watching, because we're going to talk about how to help your partner's nervous system feel calmer, which is going to help the trust process build back faster, and ultimately is going to make your life a lot better too. Now, a lot of people trying to rebuild trust are still hiding things. Not necessarily the drinking itself, although that can be. Maybe you're genuinely trying to cut back, minimizing how much, saying 2 when it was really 4. I get it. You don't want to start a fight. You don't want to feel like a failure. But here's what that hiding does. Every time your partner finds out something was minimized, even something small, it doesn't just erase the progress, it goes backwards. Because now it's not just they drank more than I'd like. Now it's they looked me in the eye and told me something that wasn't true. Deception and the drinking have become linked in your partner's mind. Hiding feels like drinking. A half-truth feels like drinking. The path forward is radical honesty, not perfection. Your partner doesn't need you to never have a slip. They need to know that when something happens, you're going to tell them before they find out. That's what's going to start to heal their nervous system. Now, I want to give you some practical advice that you can use starting today. One of the biggest trust destroyers is what happens when your partner brings up the past. They bring up something that happened, and something happens in your body. Your chest tightens. You feel defensive before they've even finished the sentence. And I know what you're really thinking. How long is this going to go on? Am I going to be paying for this forever? Now, those feelings are valid, but here's what's actually happening. Your partner's not trying to punish you. They're trying to feel safe. Every time they bring up something and feel heard, really heard, not managed, it's a small signal, which is, I can trust this person with my pain. Now, here's something that might change how you see those conversations. When you stay regulated, voice calm, body open, defenses down, you actually help their nervous system calm down too. This is called CoRegulation. Your calm becomes contagious. When your partner brings up something painful, try something like this. I hear you. That was really bad. I understand why you're still thinking about it. Or you're right to bring that up. I understand why it's hard to forget. Or just simply, it happened and I'm sorry. Those responses don't explain or justify. They just receive whatever the other person is feeling. Now, also know what you're afraid of. You're afraid that if you open that door, it will never close. That you're going to be paying for this forever. That every conversation is going to be about these horrible topics that you'd really rather just put in the past and move on from. But here's what I've seen in 20 years of working with hundreds of clients. The conversations that never end are almost always the ones where the person never feels fully heard. When someone feels like they had to fight to get their pain acknowledged, they come back because the wound never got to close. Now, your experience matters too. It's okay to say, I really want to hear this. Can you give me a minute so I can actually listen? Or, this is hard for me to hear, not because you're wrong, but because I hate what I put you through. I'm going to stay with you through this. Those responses keep you in the conversation without shutting them out. Now, even if you commit to all of this, there still might be a trust gap that takes time to close. Your partner is constantly scanning. Is this real? Is this going to last? What closes that gap faster than anything else is verifiable accountability. Not just telling your partner you're sober, but giving them a way to know that you're sober. When the information is just there consistently, their nervous system starts to get the new message. Now, one of the tools I recommend most for this exact situation is called Soberlink. It's a remote alcohol monitoring system. You actually take breathalyzer tests at scheduled times. They're not sneaky, you know when they're going to be, but the results go automatically to whoever you designate. That can be your partner, a family member, your counselor. I know some of you might be thinking that sounds like being controlled, but I want you to think about it differently. Right now, your partner's brain is checking constantly, exhaustingly. Soberlink moves the checking out of the relationship and into a system, which means they can start being your partner again. So instead of getting that loaded question about, did you drink today? You have a system that just takes care of that automatically. No confrontation or awkward conversations required. You get to walk in the door as a person, not as a suspect. This tool can do something that years of apologies just can't. And I've watched couples go from barely speaking to actually laughing together again. Not because the sobriety was perfect, but because the uncertainty was gone. Now, Soberlink is a partner of ours, so if you go to that link, you'll actually get a lot more information. I'll explain to you how it works, what it looks like, how the schedule happens, all the ins and outs, so you know exactly what you're getting. This isn't about letting your partner control you. This is about you taking control, which is going to help your partner feel better. And when they feel better, your life is going to get a lot easier too. I recommend Soberlink because I've seen it work so many times, better than any other recovery tool I've tried. Not just for building trust, but actually for making sobriety easier. Of course, apologizing is a good starting point, but it's not the finish line. Radical honesty, saying the truth before you get caught, is what starts to heal the nervous system. Non-defensive listening, staying regulated so your partner can regulate too, it rebuilds the emotional connection, and verifiable accountability is what closes the trust gap faster than anything else. None of this is about being controlled. It's about giving your relationship the conditions it needs to heal. Your partner wants to trust you. They're not your enemy. And you have the ability to give them the one thing that heals this, not promises, but proof. You can do this. Now, if this was helpful for you, drop a comment. I read every single one. And if you're the partner watching, I've written a guide all about how to bring up Soberlink to your partner, like when and what to say and what the possible pitfalls and traps might be in the conversation. And I'll put the link to that in the description below, along with other resources like my Denial Breakthrough Challenge. Now, if you're not subscribed, please do so now. This is what we talk about here, the real psychology of addiction without shame and from both perspectives, from the person struggling and from the family perspective. I'll see you guys in the next one.